Hello students, I am Ankit Kumar again here to take class of economics for 12th standard. In last video, we studied the credit creation process by commercial banks. Now we will study about central bank and its functions. Central bank. Central bank is an apex institution which operates, controls, directs and regulates the monetary and banking structure of a country. It is known as the supreme body as it occupies the topmost position in the monetary and banking system. The design and control of country's monetary policy is its main responsibility. India's central bank is Reserve Bank of India. Central bank is known by the different names in different countries. India's central bank is Reserve Bank of India. Reserve Bank of India was established on April 1st, 1935. Functions of the central bank. As the central bank of the country, the Reserve Bank of India performs the following functions: Bank of Issue or Currency Authority, Government's Bank, Banker's Bank and Supervisor, Lender of Last Resort, Custodian of Cash Reserves, Clearing House function, Controller of Credit. Now I will explain these functions. Currency Authority. Central bank has the sole authority for issue of currency in the country. RBI has the sole right of issuing paper currency notes except 1 rupee note and coins. 1 rupee notes and coins are issued by the Ministry of Finance. Notes issued by central bank are circulated as legal tender money. All the currency issued by the central bank is its monetary liability. When government incurs a deficit in its budget, it borrows from RBI by selling its treasury bills. When RBI acquires these securities, it issues new currency. This is known as monetizing the government's debt or deficit financing. Advantage of sole authority of note issue with RBI. It leads to uniformity in note circulation. It gives the power to central bank to influence money supply because currency with public is part of money supply. It ensures public faith in the currency system. Central bank is obliged to back the currency with assets of equal value to enhance the public confidence in paper currency. It helps in stabilization of internal and external value of currency. Banker to the government. RBI acts as banker, agent and a financial advisor to the central government and all state governments. As a banker, it carries out all banking business of the government. It maintains a current account all banking business of the government. It accepts receipts and makes payment for the government and carries out banking operations. It also gives loan and advances to the government. As an agent, the central bank also has the responsibility of managing the public debt. As a financial advisor, the central bank advises the government from time to time on economic, financial and monetary matters. Bankers, bank and supervisor. As the banker to the commercial banks, central bank holds cash reserve of commercial banks. RBI works as custodian of cash reserve of commercial banks. It also gives loans to the commercial banks when they are in need of funds. RBI works as lender of last resort for the commercial banks. The central bank also provides a large number of routine banking functions to the commercial banks like check clearing, remittance facility, etc. The central bank supervises, regulates and controls commercial banks. The control is exercised by periodic inspection of banks and returns filed by them. Central bank is the custodian of cash reserves of commercial banks. Commercial banks are required to keep a certain proportion of their deposit with the central bank. This proportion is known as cash reserve ratio. Central bank is the lender of last resort. When commercial banks fail to meet their financial requirements from other sources, they approach to RBI to give loans and advances as lender of last resort. RBI assists these banks through discounting of approved securities and bills of exchange. Central bank is the bank of central clearance, settlement and transfers. As RBI holds the cash reserves of all commercial banks, it becomes easier and more convenient for it to act as their clearinghouse. All commercial banks have their accounts with central bank. Therefore, the central bank can easily settle claims of various commercial banks against each other by making debit and credit entries in their accounts. Controller of money supply and credit. The central bank controls the money supply and credit in the best interest of the economy. As RBI has the sole monopoly in currency issue, it can control credit and supply of money. Central bank can control inflationary and deflationary situation in the economy through various credit control measures. Credit control measures. These measures can be grouped into two categories. Number 1, quantitative measures. Quantitative measures are meant to regulate the overall level or volume of credit in the economy through commercial banks. Quantitative measures are also known as general or indirect measures of credit control. Number 2, qualitative measures. Qualitative measures aim to controlling specific types of credit. Qualitative measures are also known as selective or direct measures of credit control. Quantitative measures are bank rate, cash reserve ratio, statutory liquidity ratio, repo rate, reverse repo rate, and open market operations. Qualitative measures are margin requirements, rationing, moral suasion. Now we will discuss these measures one by one. Bank rate. Bank rate is the rate of interest at which central bank lends funds to commercial banks to meet their long-term needs. When central bank lowers bank rate, commercial banks also lower their lending rate. Since borrowing becomes cheaper, people may borrow more. This will lead to increased money supply. When RBI raises bank rate, commercial banks also raise their lending rates. Since borrowings become costly, people may borrow less. This will lead to decreased money supply. Bank rate inversely affect the money supply. Any decrease in bank rate will increase the money supply, and any increase in bank rate will decrease the money supply. Cash reserve ratio CRR. In last chapter we studied that banks have to keep a minimum fraction of deposit, that is called legal reserve ratio or required deposit ratio. This has two components, cash reserve ratio and statutory liquidity ratio. The banks are required to deposit with the central bank a percentage of their net demand and time deposits. The minimum percentage fixed by the central bank is called cash reserve ratio. An increase in the CRR has the effect of reducing banks' excess reserves and thus curtails their ability to give credit. Money supply will decrease. A decrease in the CRR has the effect of increasing the bank's excess reserves and thus increase their ability to give loan. Money supply will increase. Case reserve ratio also inversely affect the money supply. Any decrease in CRR will increase the money supply, and any increase in CRR will decrease the money supply. Statutory liquidity ratio. The banks are required to maintain a specified percentage of their net total demand deposits in the form of cash or other liquid assets with them salvage. It is called SLR. Remember, CRR is the fraction of deposits that commercial banks must keep as cash reserve with the central bank, but SLR is the fraction that banks must keep with themselves. An increase in the SLR has the effect of reducing banks' excess reserves and thus curtails their ability to give credit. Money supply will decrease. A decrease in the SLR has the effect of increasing the bank's excess reserves and thus increase their ability to give loan. Money supply will increase. SLR also inversely affect the money supply. Any decrease in SLR will increase the money supply, and any increase in SLR will decrease the money supply. Repo rate. Repurchase rate is the rate of interest at which central bank lends to commercial banks for their short-term requirements. Bank rate and repo rate almost similar. Repo rate is applicable to short-term lending and bank rate is applicable to long-term lending by central bank. An increase in repo rate will force commercial banks to increase their lending rates. It will make borrowings costlier to general public. Thus credit creation declines and money supply decreases. A decrease in repo rate will induce commercial banks to decrease their lending rates. It will make borrowings cheaper to general public. Thus credit creation increases and money supply increases. Repo rate also inversely affects the money supply. Any decrease in repo rate will increase the money supply, and any increase in repo rate will decrease the money supply. Reverse repo rate. When the commercial banks have surplus funds, they can deposit the same with the central bank and earn interest. The rate of interest paid by central bank on such deposits is called reverse repo rate. This is exact opposite of repo rate. When reverse repo rate is raised, it encourages the commercial banks to park their funds with the central bank. This has the negative effect on the lending capability of commercial banks and money supply decreases. Decreasing reverse repo rate has the opposite effect, which raises demand for borrowings from the commercial banks. Money supply increases. Reverse repo rate also inversely affects the money supply. Any decrease in reverse repo rate will increase the money supply, and any increase in reverse repo rate will decrease the money supply. Open market operation. Open market operations refers to buying and selling of government securities by the central banks from and to the general public. RBI is authorized to sell or purchase treasury bills and government securities. By selling government securities, the central bank soaks liquidity from the economy. This reduces the reserves of commercial banks and adversely affects banks' ability to create credit and thus reduce the money supply. By purchasing government securities, central bank release liquidity in the economy. This increases the cash reserve with banks and thus increases banks' ability to create credit and hence increases money supply. Margin requirements. Margin requirements on loan refers to the difference between current market value of the security offered and amount of loan granted by banks. If the margin fixed by the RBI is 40%, then commercial banks are allowed to give a loan only up to 60% of the value of security. Decreasing marginal requirements enables borrowers to secure larger amount of funds from the banks, thereby increases money supply in the economy. Increasing margin requirements forces borrowers to secure less amount of funds from the banks, thereby decreases money supply in the economy. RBI may prescribe different margins for different type of borrowers against the security of the same commodity. Margin is necessary because if bank gives loan equal to the value of security, then bank will suffer a loss in case of fall in price of security. Rationing of credit. It refers to fixation of credit quota for different sectors of the economy. The central bank may fix the maximum amount of loans to be given by a commercial bank. Moral pressure. It refers to written or oral advices given by the central bank to commercial banks to restrict or expand credit. The advice of central bank is generally followed by commercial banks as it acts as their lender of last resort. That's all. Thank you.